lesson we auditioned for different characters for our play pronoun. So in today's lesson, I wanted to focus on being confident within my audition material. So coming in, answering all the different questions I'm going to be asked with confidence. I also want to show a contrast between characters, but show a coherent character throughout the different scenes that I was doing, and just make sure that they know I have an understanding of the play as well, and I have like a general understanding of the characters. But I know once we start doing the play more and getting into it more, and like using Stanislavski techniques and just all different practitioner techniques and going down and understanding the play more, I feel like I don't have an understanding of the characters a little bit better. How I'm going to work on showing a clear justification on two characters and being confident is to make sure that the judging panel understand all my objectives and my intentions within the scenes. This just shows that they know that I have an understanding of what character I want to go for, why I want to do this, what's so important about this character, why is this scene important, why have I picked this scene, and then they have an understanding of why I want to be that character. So my first audition piece I auditioned for was for Dean, who is the main character. So at the beginning of the play it mentions about Dean, who was a girl at first, well, she still is a girl, and she was called Izzy, and then Josh, who is her boyfriend in the play, has came home from holiday and found out that his girlfriend no longer wants to be a girl, she wants to be a boy, and she's now going by the name called Dean and is starting to wear the men's clothes and portraying as a dude. The scene that I picked to audition for is scene 4, and within the scene it's about Dean opening up to Josh and saying, one day it was just like this, and this is what I felt like, and this is why I wanted to do this, and it weren't just I woke up one morning and thought I wanted to be a boy. It was actually thinking and going into detail of why she wanted to do this. Within my performance, well, my rehearsal performance, I was just thinking more of I need to make sure there is an imaginative world. So in the play it says that they're in Glastonbury and they're sitting in a tent. So I've made sure that I was sitting on the tent and making clear justification of where Josh would, because in the scene she's talking to Josh, who was next to her at the time. I felt like because she's opening up to Josh and saying and just telling her what he's going through, I feel like they would be quite close. So thinking about proximities and using it within relationships, I put as in Josh was dead close to me, so it shows that they have that connection and that they have that close relationship. I also thought a bit more about how a man would sit. I don't think I was fully there. I think it's a bit hard because I am a girl and I don't know how a boy sits and all that, and it's a bit different. So my mannerisms, I am quite a girly kind of person, so my mannerisms are girly, and trying to overcome them was a bit hard at first, but just trying to be more manly a little bit. I know for a fact that I would have to try a little bit harder with doing it because I am very girly. Also with my voice as well, I didn't really think more about having my voice more manlier. I just thought more about getting my objective across. So I thought my objective was to tell the truth. I wanted to open up to Josh and just tell him this is what's going on, and within the voice you can hear like the emotion and like the thought process that's going through, and like she's actually struggled with this for a long time, and I thought it was quite, the way that I developed it and the feedback that I was given, I thought it was quite a good audition, and you can see a clear understanding of the character and how I would interpret that character. And then you could also see the storyline as well and see how it is a struggle for Dean to become Dean and just having to change one day and making that decision too as well. Afterwards, I auditioned for Danny as well, and Danny starts off quite, like, she was quite awkward. Like, she's walking into Dean's room, and it mentions a lot at the beginning of the scene that she would go into Dean's room a lot when she was Izzy, and they were very close. But now she feels like it's quite awkward and that she can't come in a lot and she can't talk to him a lot. And she's just trying to, within the scene, trying to understand Dean more. So you hear her go, doesn't it bother you? And then with Dean, who's like trying to put on this like this persona of like she's not bothered and what like other people are talking about and what they're saying about her. And Danny's getting really frustrated about it because she thinks that she should bother and that she cares about it. And it's, when they were younger, they mentioned that pupils from primary school would talk about Dean and some dude called Brad, and Danny would stand up for her and fight them all off. But she feels like now, because everything that everyone's saying is true, she can't protect her, and that makes her feel like she can't protect herself as well, because how she's supposed to respond to that. And I just feel like overall Danny is just, she's hurt, like she's feels like she's lost a sister and she's not going to get her sister back, and she's trying to understand, and I feel like at times she is, but then in her head it comes back to herself and she's like, I just don't understand it. So then it makes her become quite angry and, well, not really aggressive, but she says harsh things to Dean. So at the end, her last line says, Dean, you'll never grow a dick, which is very, for Dean, that is like a kick in the stomach. So I feel like she just likes to take little funs out of it, but it's not because she wants to. I feel like it's because she doesn't know how to handle it, and she doesn't know how she expresses herself a lot and how she would react to it. And I think generally, if I put myself in my shoes and think about if my sister was there one day and next minute she's gone and she's like a boy now, I feel like I would react the same way, because you've had this connection with someone for so long and you think you know someone, and the next minute they've gone and there's someone else, and you would be a bit angry, you wouldn't know how to react, you would be confused, and all different emotions would come out. And before I came into the rehearsal and started doing my preparation, I would think, okay, if I was in Danny's shoes, how would I react? So if that was my sister, how would I react to this? So I feel like just doing this audition, it was more generally my point of view and showing my understanding of the character and how I would interpret this character. After we did all our auditions, we got given feedback. So for my feedback for Dean, it was work on more of my mannerisms. So this would be make it more manly. So for example, I know that I use my hands a lot, but the way that I use them, they are quite girly. So think about how does a boy use their arms and how do they sit. Also, my voice, it needs to be stronger as well. I have a very high-pitched voice, so I need to think about getting a bit lower as well. Within this the play, you hear Dean say that he has all these testosterone, so that his voice would get stronger throughout the play. So if I was to become Dean, I need to think about more about using the voice and making it stronger, so then you have an understanding that this character was a girl and you see the transitioning of him becoming a boy. For Danny, overall the judging panel liked it. For now, I just need to, depends on who's playing Dean. So you need to think about the height, because Dean's supposed to be older than Danny, so you need to see that in the face as well. Also, the way that we look as well, so, and the way that we talk. So yeah, this is going to be hard because I'm like one of the oldest, but even though I'm small, I can get away from being Danny. So say if Beth was going to play Dean and then I was going to play Danny, that could work out a bit, because Beth does look older than me. She has that more mature enough voice, and the way she talks, she's a bit mature. It sounds more mature than me. And then I'm small as well, so I think I can get away from Danny. It doesn't really say anything about age, but we know for a fact that Danny is younger than Dean, and it is a couple of years younger, so we need to make sure that they have that clear justification. I think my strength for today's lesson would be just showing a clear understanding of two characters and showing two contrast between them. So with Dean it's more I'm opening up, and then with Danny it's like I'm holding back a bit, but I'm still a bit angry at you and I'm being forceful to you. I achieved my target as well, so that was my chapter. I was confident. I didn't go in thinking, oh my god, I'm so scared. I was like, okay, take a breath first and do it when I'm ready and take my time. My weakness would be, I think, just think more about my mannerisms, become that character more in the scene. So think about how you are saying, think about how you're going to use your body and how you're going to use your voice as well. And my area to improve is to start pushing myself for Friday's lessons. So when we carry on doing the audition parts and working with different characters within the scenes, so start pushing myself, start thinking about the different relationships that these characters have with different people, and start pushing myself and thinking, okay, I think this character has a relationship with this character like this, and start working on it and just taking different risks as well, and experimenting more with it, and just listening to my partners that I'm going to work with as well, because we all have different interpretations of different characters and different relationships. So once we listen to each other, we can make a clear justification on what relationships we want, and then we can just start experimenting more.